Bless up, my people, and welcome back to the Daily Scoop. Today, we are getting straight into a conversation surrounding one of dancehall's biggest names, Popcaan, and a moment that has people talking about ambition, venues, competition, and the way fans interpreted statements from their favorite artists. Popcaan recently appeared on TikTok Live, something fans don't get to see from him every day, and during the interaction his comments about wanting to take things to an even bigger stage sparks a debate. Some people took the statements as shade toward artists who have already performed at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, such as Vybz Kartel. Others believe the entire situation has been blown out of proportion and that Popcorn was simply expressing a bigger goal for himself. So today we are going to break down the Popcorn situation, the Madison Square Garden conversation, why Masicka and other artists have been brought into the discussion, and whether fans are creating a rivalry where there really is not one. So let's get straight into it. One of the first things that caught people's attention was simply seeing Popcorn active on TikTok Live. If you have been following Popcorn for a while, you know he has not necessarily the type of artist who is constantly jumping on live streams and interacting with fans for hours. So when Popcorn came through on TikTok Live, people were paying attention. And what made the moment even more interesting was Popcorn's personality. Popcorn has always been known for having a playful side. He is somebody who jokes around, laughs, enjoys himself, and doesn't always approach social media with a serious attitude. During this particular live, there was a lot of laughter and interaction, and fans seem to enjoy seeing that lighter side of the artist. And that's important because sometimes people forget that artists are human beings. They joke, they laugh, they make ambitious statements, they talk about their goals, they tease their friends, and sometimes fans take every single word and turn it into a major dancehall controversy. That appears to be what happened here. Now, let's get to the part that really got people talking. The discussion eventually moved toward the size of venues and the possibility of Popcorn performing at a major arena. The name that came into the conversation was Madison Square Garden in New York. And this is where the debate started. Some people interpreted Popcorn ambition to perform at Madison Square Garden as a direct comparison with dancehall artists who have already performed at Barclays Center. Remember, Barclays Center has become an important location for Jamaican music in recent years. We have seen major dancehall names connected to shows there, such as Vybz Kartel, Bounty Killer, Alkaline, and Masicka. Masicka's recent Barclays Center performance in particular became a major talking point because it represented another significant milestone for the younger generation of dancehall. So when Popcorn started talking about a bigger venue, certain fans immediately started connecting the dots. And that's when social media did what social media normally does. People start asking questions. Was Popcorn throwing shade? Was he saying that Barclay is not enough? Was he suggesting that he wants to go beyond what other Jamaican artists have accomplished? Or was he simple saying I have bigger dreams? Those are very different interpretations. And personally, I think we have to be careful about putting words into an artist's mouth because wanting to perform at Madison Square Garden does not automatically mean you're disrespecting an artist who perform at Barclay. Both things can be true. An artist can congratulate somebody for reaching Barclay while still wanting to reach an even bigger milestone themselves. That is called ambition. Now, here is where things get interesting. Some fans have been comparing Popcorn comment to the achievement of artists who perform at Barclays Center, and you have to understand why. When an artist sells out a major arena, fans naturally use that achievement to measure their pulling power. That's why Masicka Barclay performance generated so much conversation. People were not only talking about the concert, they were talking about what it represented represented? Can a dancehall artist independently attract thousands of people in a major American city? Can Jamaican music consistently fill major arenas? Can the newer generation create the same level of excitement that previous generation created? Those are legitimate questions. But here is the thing. There should not necessarily be a competition between Barclay and Madison Square Garden. If Masicka fills Barclay, that's good for Masicka. If Alkaline perform at Barclay, that's good for Alkaline. If Bounty Killer appear at Barclay, that's good for Bounty Killer. If Vybz Kartel perform there, that's another achievement. And if Popcaan eventually headline Madison Square Garden, that would be another huge achievement for Popcorn and for dancehall. Why do we have to tear one achievement down to celebrate another? One of the biggest problems in dancehall conversation today is that fans often interpret everything through the lens of rivalry. If Popcorn says something, somebody say he's talking about Vybz Kartel. If Masicka release a song, somebody say he is responding to Skillibeng. If Skillibeng posts something on Instagram, fans immediately search for a hidden message. If Alkaline performs somewhere, another fan base wants to compare the numbers. An artist saying, I want to perform at Madison Square Garden does not necessarily mean everybody who perform at Barclay is beneath him. It could simply mean I have a bigger target that I want to accomplish, and that is it. So, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Popcorn was throwing shade at artists who perform at Barclays Center? Or was he simply expressing his ambition to perform at an even bigger venue? Drop your honest opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy this discussion, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Until the next one, walk good, stay safe, and keep supporting Jamaican music.